Hi, so in this video I'm gonna show you how we can create our own aim offsets. And really, in order to do that, I want to first ask you to download the Anim Starter Pack because it has some great animations that we can use to show you how to do this, okay? For the other character, Paragon Revenant, we are not really having any good animations to create aim offsets from. Okay, in order to show you how this process works, I need to have some good animations. With those so-called good animations, I can very clearly show you how to do it. So the first thing you need to do is to, if you open up the Epic's launcher, you can search for something called Animation Starter Pack. Okay, I have already added it to my project, and once you do, you will have it here. It's called Anim Starter Pack. You can go to the Fab Marketplace and just search for it. I'm gonna quickly show you how it looks like. And it's also free, of course. Anim Starter Pack. You can filter on free. Oh, let's see if I can find it. Animation Starter Pack. Gonna give it one more. There you go. It's called Animation Starter Pack. It's this one. So add it to your project. Add to my projects. And when you do click on add, it might, it also gives you this window. I'm gonna click on OK and just accept. It will ask you for a version. You can choose the latest, the last and closest one to the version you are using. So in this case, it would be 5.3. I've already added it, so I'm gonna click on cancel. You choose the correct version and then click on add to project. So once you have it, looks like this. And in here, I'm gonna create a new folder. Let's see. I'm gonna create a new folder here in content. I'm gonna call it test. Let's go to Anim Starter Pack and well, in order to illustrate this and how it works, let's take this one. We have something called aim space iron sight, and as you can see, it consists of several animations in one animation. As you can see, it goes all the directions, left, right, up, down, and center. You see that? So what we can do is make our alterations. We can change this and then create our own assets based on this. Let me show you what I mean. So if you have this aim space iron shell, let's say I first want that center, the aim offset center, the one that aims at the center. So what I can do is, first off, I want to make some changes to this so we only have one frame. Because usually these aim offsets are only one frame, okay, and they're additive. So first off, I'm going to create that animation. So in order to do that, you can just, let's see if I can do this. You can if you just right click, you can see it says remove from 0 to frame 20. Yeah, let's do that. Okay, it ends up with this. I'm going to click on Control Z because that's not what I wanted. All right, let's close this down and open this up again. Sometimes it can behave weird and you have to open it up again. Before making any changes, I'm just going to duplicate this just so that we are having a copy of it. I'm going to make a change to the copy instead. So suppose that I want the one that looks in the center. It's this one. So it's approximately at 4 frames, or number 4 here. It says 5.59%. So what I'm going to do is just right click No, not here. Let's see, right click here. And then we want to remove frames 25 to 87, and that's to the right of the cursor. So if you just remove that, let's see, yeah. Now we only have this part here, and we have to, remove until we get the part we want. So I'm gonna, this is what I want, centers. So I'm gonna right click, remove frames 0 to 9, because that's from here, the beginning to frame 9. This is, if you, let's see if I can expand this a little bit more. Click on frames, snapping to frames. Yeah, that's snapping, but let's see if we can do it. So right click and remove from frame 0 to 8. All right. Yeah, this is what I want. I need to keep removing, so 5 to 87. Let's see how it behaves now. Something like that. 6 to 87. Wow. Let's see. So we have to keep removing, and let's see if I can do that. All right. Well, let's just remove from 1 to 20. There you go. Okay. So you just keep removing and removing until you get that part. Now we only have one frame. It's center center, as you can see. So what I'm gonna do is, let's see. First off, we need to save it. I almost always forget that. And in order to do that, I think we need to go here. We need to add keyframes, if I remember correctly. It doesn't really want to. I think that's because we only have one frame. So let's try to see how this works. So I'm going to go to Create Asset, create an animation. Let's see, create animation from reference pose. There you go. You have some options here. I'm gonna try with create animation. I've actually done both, but I don't know which one is most effective in this case. So let's try with create animation current pose. We are gonna put it in a test folder. I'm gonna call it AOCC as an aim offset center. Let's go to our test folder and see how it looks. I'm gonna minimize this. Okay, it looks like I got what I wanted. And as you can see, it's currently not additive. So I'm gonna make it mesh space and select animation frame. And now we can choose what the base class will be. So we can choose to make it additive based on well, this is ainspace hip, but maybe some ainspace iron sight. Or maybe some other aiming animations if you want. So really, this is how you make it additive for now, for example, I'm having this like this. So this could be an aim offset center center. You just set it to mesh space and then select animation frame, and then you have to select the preview pose here. This is the base pose we want to add upon. So usually it's let's see if I can find some idle aim offset center center. Let's see, aim. Let's see, idle. Is really, this one could be a good basic pose. And what you can do also is, if I just close this down, I'm gonna duplicate this. I'm gonna call aim offset CC base. I'm gonna use this one as a base instead. So if you just open this up, and it should not be additive. We can enable a root motion, why not? I'm gonna close this down. If you open this up now, and let's just search for base, there you go. Since the animation I duplicate, I made it not to be, if you look here, it's not additive. That's because I want to use it as a base pose. That's why I made it not additive, okay? So the base pose here is not additive, but the other animations are additive because they are going to be added onto this one. So if you look at this aim offset center center, you can see that I'm using this base animation here, and this animation center center is being added onto it, okay? So AOCC base is the base one, and we are adding an animation onto this one. So currently this is good. Let's do one more so you can see even better how it works. So we have this center center. Let's do up. So he points to up and upwards. I'm gonna go to the anim starter pack again. You can see that I'm having this file. We just duplicated it, so I'm gonna click on Control Z. Let's see if that helps. I'm not sure. Maybe mesh base, selected animation frame. I'm gonna search for base again. Let's not make too many changes here. Okay, so let's go to anim starter pack. I'm just gonna delete this and duplicate it one more time. Let's click on duplicate so that we have the original copy. All right, as I said, let's make up. So center up, of course. Let's see if we can do that. It looks like we don't have a center up. That's weird. We have a left up, left down. We have a right, up and down. All right, it doesn't really have a. So what we can do is we could have a down instead. Or we could have a left. Why not? Let's go with a left. It's even easier. This is a left. So let's say we want to add this to whatever we are currently having as an aim offset. Okay, so what I'm going to do is keep cutting this. I'm going to right click, remove 0 to 15, and then I'm going to right click again, remove 1 to 72. Now we only have one frame, as you can see. And there you go. So what I'm going to do is create an asset out of this, create animation. Let's see if I can do this. Create animation. You can also do this. Last time we did is create animation current pose. I'm going to do create animation based on current animation and preview mesh. So I'm going to click on that. And then I'm going to add it here. I'm going to call it AOCL as in center left. Okay, and now I've done that. I'm gonna go back with Control Z. I don't know if that works. It just opened up. It just opened up this CL for me. I need to close this down and test to see how it works. I might have ruined it because I clicked on Control Z. So I'm gonna do that one more time. Sorry about that. So I'm gonna go to Additive Starter Pack. Let's open this up. All right, here is the CL. I'm gonna go to Create again. I'm gonna create an animation based on current animation and preview mesh. Go to Test. AO CL. Let's see what we got. It looks to be correct now. So now I'm having this CL, okay? So what you need to do is, again, make it additive. So you go to Additive Animations, Mesh Space, selected animation frame. I'm gonna go with the base one I showed you. We are having this based on this one. So now you have a base pose and you are having those additive animations. I'm gonna enable root motion, why not? So now that we have all of this, let's create our, well, let's go to animations, aim offset. It's Revenant, so I'm gonna choose Revenant. I'm gonna call it test aim offset. This is just for demonstration purpose. I'm not gonna create all of the other aim offsets we need for up, down, left, right, and all the all the other directions. So I'm just having two of them, center and up, with a base one, and showing you how this works, and then you will be able to do the rest yourself. So let's open this up. And as always, it's a good practice to go here and name these. I'm gonna quickly name it yaw and the other one pitch. If you're not used to these names, pitch is looking up and down like this vertically. Yaw is more horizontally. Suppose that yaw is looking left and right and pitch is looking up and down. That's a good way to think of it. So, all right, we have our aim offsets and I'm calling it AOCC. So I'm gonna search for that. AOCC. There you go. Let's see if I can. Oh, sorry. I actually forgot that this is not for this skeleton. This aim offset is for the Revenant, but in order to use these for the Revenant, we need to retarget them. So I don't know if there is an easy way of doing it or if we have to do it the hard way. Let's see if we can. Yeah, we have retarget animation, but to keep this simple, I'm not going to retarget them to Revenant. I'm just going to show you how to create an aim offset for this specific skeleton here. If you don't know what retargeting is and how that is bound to skeletons, I suggest that you study that. Because it requires you to have some knowledge about retargeting. But simply said, animations are bound to a skeletal mesh. The Revenant is having one skeletal mesh for itself, and this animation here is having its own skeletal mesh. And these animations are bound to this Unreal Characters skeletal mesh, not the Revenant. If you want to use this for the Revenant's character, you need to retarget them to the Revenant skeleton. Okay? So that's how it works. If they both use the same type of skeleton, you would be able to use these animations for the Revenant as well. Since they are having different skeletons, if we want to use this for the Revenant, we need to retarget them. And as I said, we are not really going to cover that now, but I'm still going to show you how to create an aim offset, which is the aim of this video for these animations. So what I'm going to do is just, let's see if I can right click, go to animation and aim offset. We need to really select our mannequin character. Let's see if I can find it. Is one of these, and these are having several different names. I think it's this one here. I really need to test out. It's really hard to say. I think it's this one, SK Mannequin Skeleton. Let's try with this one. I'm gonna open it up to see if I can find my animations. If I can, it means we chose the correct one. Nope, it's not this one. I'm gonna delete it again. Let's see if I can just right click on it and create a montage. Let's see which skeleton. Let's see which skeleton. It's using the Unreal Engine for mannequin skeleton. Okay, in the Anim starter pack. So let's try one more time. We need to choose the correct one, so we are using the correct skeleton. It's in the Anim starter pack, so it's not this one. It's not this one. It's this one actually. Unreal Engine. If you look at the very bottom, you can see there's a preview skeletal mesh. It says Game Anim Starter Pack. I'm using actually the skeleton from the Anim Starter Pack, so we need to select this one. These animations are bound to that skeleton. So this is a good way you can understand this, that these are bound to a skeleton. If you want to use them for another skeleton, for another character, you need to retarget them. Usually retargeting tools are built in, but we are not going to cover that for now. I'm going to do an aim offset test. Okay, so let's try one more time. And as you can see, we are having a lot more here, and I can find my own animations here because we chose the correct skeleton. So this is an aim offset, and again, I'm going to quickly just name this yaw. And then the other axis, I'm going to name it pitch. So we are having this center one here. As always, you need to choose, let's see why it's behaving like this. We don't have any preview assets. Let's see if I can. Let's just delete this AL center. Okay. Let's make it something like this. Let's see if I can make this right. Iron sights. I'm gonna delete that. We can't preview it for some reason. That's what I'm trying to find out why. Central left. Alright, so if you choose aim space hip, let's see how it looks if. Okay, the additive animation could do here. Let's see if I'm gonna, what is it? Center. I'm gonna delete those again and see how it behaves if I add this one. Yeah, the base one here, let's see, center left. Okay, let's see. Alright, however, it's a good way to show this. I'm gonna test one more thing before I'm gonna show you the entire thing, but it seems to do the trick. We don't really have fully perfect animations. It's not being perfect here. Aim space hip. So I'm using the preview pose for aim space hip, and we want to use an additive animation based on this. So I'm going to show you how it should look like. We have the center left. All right. We are not using the exact correct animations here, so it's not fully perfect, but you can see that. You can see that it's changing its behavior based on that. Um, Alright, I'm gonna delete these again. So, taking a look at the animations mesh space, yeah, it's based on the base one. Let's see if I can make it additive to the aim space hip instead. Maybe that will give us some better. Oh yeah, I think that did the trick. And then we have this one. If you open up the AOCL, I'm gonna change it to hip, aim space hip, so it's additive to this one. This is just a preview mesh map. I'm gonna see how it looks like. So if you open up this one again, we have this AOCC center here, and let's add the center left. All right, now it's looking pretty good. So now you can see that we have created our very own additive animations here. Okay. Here I'm using the AOCL for the left, and this is the AOCC. If you look at the AOCC animation, it is this one. Okay, it's just one frame, but this is being added onto the base pose aim space hip. This was an animation that was a part of that package we just downloaded, the Anim Starter Pack. Okay. So I just created one additive animation based on this one. It adds onto this. And if we do that, if you look, it looks like this. See? So simply said, this is how you can create your own additive animation. And you can keep doing this, keep adding to this, you know, up, down, left, right, all types of directions you want. Just like I showed you. In this case, you could create a base one, but we are not going to use this base one. For some reason, the animations doesn't fully perfectly blend together, even if you could use this base one. So I'm going to use another base animation. It's preview base pose. You can see I'm using this aim space hip here as a base instead. So now you know at least how this works. You can create your own aim space animations, and these of course needs to be integrated just like I've showed you. You add them to animation graph. If you look how we did for Revenant, just save this and close this down. Before we wrap up, I'm gonna show you that. Let's go to blueprints, characters. You can see that here, this is the aim offset. We are using this here and feeding it with yaw and pitch. Same you can do with the other one we just created. However, that's not fully finished. There is more work to do, but at least now you know how it works. You know how to make them additive, you know what a base pose is, so on and so forth. But mostly when you download animations from the marketplace, many of the Paragon characters, which are premium assets, they have tons of animations, and many of them are having all of the aim offsets you usually need. But so you know, you can create your own aim offsets, just like I showed you. It's not really that difficult, but it requires some time because you need to create all of those assets, cut the frames, and those kind of things. Alright, so hopefully you learned something valuable. Thanks for watching, and I see you in the next one.